We got comedian Jess Hilarious going crazy on the whole Breakfast Club. Now, if anybody that's a fan of the Breakfast Club, I'm from the East Coast. Let me know where you guys are located. I've been a fan of the Breakfast Club for years. So when she was in addition to the show, I thought it was actually a good addition. I thought she was funny outside of the show, and I thought she can always do her own thing. But as a team collectively, I think they all perform great. Now, Jess Hilarious airs out the Breakfast Club. We're going to get into this. Let me know where y'all from. Let me know y'all views on this. I'm going to have my views at the end of the video. Let's get right into it.
Plus News, I'm John Abba. The Breakfast Club appears to be having internal troubles again, as host Jess Hilarious has now opened up about some of her newest frustrations regarding the morning show and her fellow co-workers. If you can recall, after Angela Yee, who first started the Breakfast Club with DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God, would exit, Power 105.1 would begin a nationwide search for her replacement. Now, in February of 2024, after a long process, Jess Hilarious would become the newest voice at the time to take her spot.
She's funny.
And even then, Jess's arrival would show some of the early clashing with...
Let me ask y'all a question. Do you feel like Jess Hilarious was an add-on to the show or not? Or do you feel like she was just not an add-on? Like they was better off without her? Be honest. Like, do y'all feel her approach is good or no?
Envy and Charlamagne the God, when she would call them out on Instagram over comments they were making regarding singer SZA and Mary J. Blige. Now, regardless of her criticism at the time, it was shortly announced that Jess was officially the show's newest member, and the three would begin hitting the airwaves.
This is giving me stunt, if you ask me.
Yeah, I was feeling this.
Now, with it being just a little over a year after joining the show, Jess is revealing her own frustrations with her cast. In particular, she would address rumors of being replaced by newest host LaRosa, who was expected to only serve as a fill-in host for Jess after Jess would take a maternity leave soon after joining the show last year.
Hold on, she actually was a producer of the show too. She produced the news segment, so she was the one that was gathering up all the news info so that they had stuff to talk about, and that was her role. So it wasn't like she just brought off the street, you know what I mean?
Here. Now, according to Jess, during an Instagram Live on Tuesday night, she would admit having issues with LaRosa at first, but soon realized that her frustrations should be redirected to her Breakfast Club team and fellow co-host.
Shorty is like that. Yeah. That's why I picked her to fill in for me for maternity leave. This woman every day.
Okay.
Every day.
But you had a baby.
I don't have no reason to fucking hate on that girl. I don't. No, I didn't like her when I came back because I'm like, all right, what's going on?
What?
What's going on? She knew it. We had a conversation. Because the anger was misplaced. Nah, it ain't even you that I don't like. I'm realizing this.
See, what I don't like is when people that act like they got your best interests in hand. Don't sit there and hype it up and go, yeah, you know, I'll put it out there for you, and then get mad at the fact that a person was able to take your shine. Like if Michael Jordan is injured and somebody's able to dunk and shoot like Jordan, they gonna pay attention.
The way these niggas is doing shit up here that I don't like. Okay, got it. Y'all changing everything else, and I'm the only one that don't know. My goofy ass don't know nothing. I'm just coming to work every day, just zippity-doo-dah-day, and you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, take my name out that shit.
Nah, that's petty.
Jess with the Mess is not at Breakfast Club. I'm Jess Hilarious up here. Fuck, I'm Jessica Moore up here. Jess with the Mess is not being done. LaRosa is doing the shit. So that need to be her segment. I fought for that segment. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? While her fans and her people and the Breakfast Club people and the people in the comments, man, I'm not ready to sit up here and act like I don't see that shit. Are y'all crazy? One thing I ain't never try to do is act unbothered unless shit never bothered me, man. What?
This bother you?
You try coming back to work. You try to come back to work. And the motherfucker is right there at your desk. And ain't nobody telling you shit, mind you. Nobody telling you nothing, mind you. Before you know it, everybody thinking you're the villain. Like, I'm the villain. Because I didn't know shit. I'm sick of that. I'm very, very sick of that. I'm not fighting over no mic space. I'm not fighting over no mic. That's why I went from shut up and hush to not saying nothing. No. I'm not going to compete where I already won this competition. I didn't know it was supposed to be 4. If this was presented to me, prior to hire, then I wouldn't have been so shocked. Like, oh shit, all right, cool. So when we bringing in the 4th person, shit, that's what's up, cool.
Yeah.
In this industry, what I'm doing ain't no right time to have a baby, so you have them when you have them. Yeah. I don't regret when I got pregnant. I don't. I got pregnant.
At the wrong time.
Purpose. That's what I wanted, a baby, and that's what I got. Now, how about y'all clear some of this shit up for y'all teammate? That shit is ran like a high school. Yeah. It's ran like a high school. Every day, and they always talk about, you ain't at work. Yeah, bitch, I started picking up more shows. Hell no. This time, hell no. I have more fun outside the fucking studio than I have in there now. Is you crazy?
Now, at one point during her venting session to fans, Jess would even reference Angela Yee's exit, alluding that Yee must have had some real reasons on why she would leave the show.
We supposed to be a team up that bitch. Not one person comes to my defense at all. Like when I'm not one motherfucker.
It sound like
ever
she complaining though.
With this online shit. Angela Yee ain't that motherfucking crazy. Not as crazy as niggas try to make out to be. Nah, it's the reason that lady wanted to leave that show. I don't know how she did that shit for 13 years, my nigga. I'm telling you.
Nah, but you can't say that.
I don't give a f***. Y'all already know what's up with me. I feel played with. I'ma play with niggas. Like, that's just like, come on. I've been quiet a lot.
Now, back in December of 2022, when Yee would have her last comments on the show, there were rumblings about why she was exiting and rumors of tension existing between her, Charlamagne the God, and DJ Envy would take front and center. During separate interviews with Vlad TV, both Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy would blame Yee's exit on their former co-host wanting her own show. Now, according to an interview with Tamron Hall, soon after she would leave, Yee would share her frustrations with sometimes being the only woman around, causing many to assume that this was partially a reason she would decide to leave. As far as when Jess would come in as a replacement, things appeared to be a decent start, but as expected, some listeners would criticize her and question the value she would bring to the show.
Yeah.
In recent times, it does now appear that the longer she has been on the show, Lauren LaRosa has ultimately become a favorite to hear from, given her journalistic background and interview style. Fans would begin to assume that LaRosa was being set up to officially join the show and possibly replace Jess Hilarious. As of this report, the Power 105.1 executives have not released any official statement on their plans for LaRosa and Jess Hilarious, but it is to note that earlier this week, LaRosa will send out a tweet that simply read, "Man, what is my life right now? Thank you, God." So it appears that Lauren may have her own announcement soon to come. It is expected that the Breakfast Club will address the latest from their co-host and her claims. Let's talk about it more in the comments below. Do you agree with Jess's frustration for?
So yeah, man, this situation is actually flooding my whole algorithm. I was seeing it all over the place, and I wanted to add my piece on it. I mean, I am a part of the culture, so I wanted to speak on the culture. I feel like ultimately, any environment where it's more men than women is going to be an uncomfortable environment. And I think it would be uncomfortable the other way around. If it was 2 women and a guy, he'd be feeling a little uncomfortable too. Also, they have seniority. And I think that Jess Hilarious has to realize that if you wanted to be the main, then you should get your main show like all these other people have done. Other than that, you're an addition to the show. So as an addition, your 33% is what's necessary. I don't think 33 is much different, but 8% from 25%. So you would have to make that, variable on your own. Do I like her on the Breakfast Club? Yeah, I think it gives it a different perspective. I think that we have to be grateful now, because if you weren't offered a top job at Baltimore radio, or that's where you're from, Baltimore. You wasn't offered a top job at DC radio, or, and it's not as major as these other outlets, you know what I'm saying, as, East Coast radio. So it's like she got to keep that in her mind and humble herself on that thought. She's kind of forgetting that you got offered on a primetime show on New York radio that I'm not gonna lie. It's like it could have you or somebody else. It wouldn't be as interested with just Charlamagne and Envy. I think you need a third person, and I think that Angela Yee was a good add-on, but I think she went on to other things. So that's it. If you're gonna go on other things, then I think go on to other things. There's other videos I could bring up. We could talk more deep and get more in depth. So y'all let me know. What y'all feel about this whole thing. And make sure y'all subscribe. I got 3 other channels above my head, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out of here.